Hello, viewers. This is Vibhuti Jha and this is Jaipur Dialogue USA. Welcome to the show. Just as always, please like, subscribe, and support our channel. Give your feedback. We value them all the time. As you probably have known now, Justin Trudeau's government had accused India of masterminding the killing, and they also called Indian embassy officials as the persons of interest in the case. Following these steps, following these choices that the government of Canada made, government of India withdrew its high commissioner and many critical staff who were accused as persons of interest. I'm calling it accused as persons of interest because Canada has chosen its terrorist friends over its overall relationship with India. This is the important point to understand, that Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau, has definitely gone along with his political allies in Canada, who are openly and absolutely unashamedly anti-India Khalistani supporters. This is something which everybody knows. No words will suffice, no need to mince the words, no need to fudge the relationship. It's right out in the open. Following that, government of India also expelled, they did not wait for Canadians to withdraw their high commissioner. Instead, they expelled them. 6 senior levels of Canadian diplomats have been sent back home, and they have been given instructions to leave the country by 11:59 p.m. 19th of October, which is just a few days more. Anyway, that is the important part. This is the diplomatic relationship have come to a political political turmoil, which is what is important to figure out. This is not about democracy. Sadly so. It's not about democracy. It is all about serving the political constituents of your own country. The West has systematically and very assiduously always undermined India's requests for repatriating or extraditing terrorists who are making another democratic country as their home in the name of freedom. That's a shame for a democratic setup now. You call it you call it the greatness of democracy. It is true that democracies are great, but when those people who will not give you democratic rights in their dispensations, in their rule of conducting the statecraft, when those people abuse democracy, then the democracies have to tighten the belt and come together. Think about it like this. Canada has the gall to accuse the High Commissioner of being involved in the killing of a terrorist whom India has designated as a fugitive and a terrorist in its soil, on Canadian soil. This is, as the saying goes, you are not guilty until proven. So you are giving conclusive proof. So what do you want? This is my question to Canadian administration. So if you feel that you have given conclusive, incontrovertible evidence, well, we all know the weapons of mass destruction. We also know how the West plays upon the elements of evidence and freedom in a way that it undermines fellow democracies. Now, that's the issue. What is important here to figure out that all those terrorists who are hiding in Canada refused to extradite the Kanishka Air India bombing, accused people, not accused, the convicted people in the Canadian courts, how they played the game of freedom, Justin Trudeau's father and others, to prevent the Kanishka bombers to be brought to justice is a matter of history. So we know where Canadian sympathy lies. They are G7, honorable G7 members, which is also known as America's 51st state in the north. They are playing a game with India. They are part of, I dare say that, They are part of the toolkit operation in which a minor insignificant country like Canada is suddenly playing a political, creating a political upheaval in a country that is as many times larger than it in terms of people and in terms of the size of the economy. Canada is nothing. So I think government of India has done a great initiative, great move, showing where the muscle is required to be shown by expelling the Canadian journalists. Now the fact is very clear. Canada will say, "Oh, we value the life of our citizen and the rights of our citizens." Yes, you are. But which citizen? Was Mr. Nijar a Nobel Peace Prize winner? Was he a physics Nobel Prize laureate? Was he a Nobel Prize winner in economics? Was he a Magsaysay Award winner in peace? These were people who were secessionists. These people are the people who are out to hurt Hindu sentiments, and the country that Hindus live in is called India. This has been going on for a long time. Everybody knows that. What is important for us to figure out here is that which Indians in Canada support this. This is the Canadian government is banking upon the support of Congress party lackeys in these areas in North America, particularly USA and in Canada. The Congress party lackeys who will latch on to this to demean India, not disregarding the total fact that the Khalistanis are separatists. They are not nation builders. They are separatists. They are not nation builders. And I repeat that. This is important for everybody to know. So all Indian Canadians, all Indo-Canadians, all Indo-Americans, Indian Americans have to come to this realization that the Canadian government and some elements in the US government are banking upon the Congress Party indie group who are part of a grander toolkit operation to somehow dismantle all things Modi and all things India, starting from here. And that's the message that is being given. And I'm 100% sure that many Congress sympathizers and lunatics and, bootlickers will suddenly say, "Oh my God, India has destroyed its relationship with Canada." No, it has not. It's probably resetting that relationship. And that is important. At no time, any democracy must weaken a fellow democratic country. The rules and laws of the nations of democracy are designed to protect and defend the nation, the people, the fundamental rights, and the citizenship right. That right doesn't give anyone the right to blow a bomb at anybody else. Khalistani terrorists blew up Air India Kanishka, killing more than 300 people. And one of the ones in Japan failed because the timing went awry. That's what is important to know. In a concerted move, these Khalistani terrorists who live under the shadow banner or the freedoms that democracies allow to fight their battle sitting here. These were the people who were linchpin of the Kisan farmers' strike in India. Everybody knows that. Trudeau was critical of Modi government handling of farmers' strike and warning him that the fundamental rights of the farmers has to be protected. But guess what he did? His own truckers' strike. He imposed emergency and took away their rights, had that strike, crushed. Not only that, he also retaliated against the truckers by capturing their bank accounts and, taking actions against them. The entire Western media said, "Oh, it was his prime ministerial role and constitutional obligation to save the lives of Canadian parliament and Canadian buildings." But the same people had no hesitation in talking about India to live up to the slogans of freedom. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has to be understood here, which I have been saying from time to time. The way they apply the standards of freedom, the way they apply the standards of requirements of freedom is different for you and different for me and my people. That's what is important to understand. So in this part of the world, in America, burning the flag is an expression of freedom. In India, it is not. So if somebody burns Indian flag and is put behind bars, would you call that they are violating the fundamental rights as per US Constitution or Canadian Constitution? But let's just put it this way. This Constitution doesn't apply anywhere else. And the way the Western democracies are behaving these days, they are themselves making a mockery of democracy as we know it. That's important to bear in mind. So, ladies and gentlemen, brace up. I'm glad that India has acted and not given in to the shenanigans, as I call them, shenanigans of the Canadian government, especially the Trudeau government, I'll put it. Trudeau has simply surrendered to his coalition allies who are demanding their pound of flesh. And they know that come election, they will lose. So they have to create the ruckus while this man lasts in power. As the evidence, as the poll suggests, Trudeau is not going to win the election. So he is trying to rush into fulfilling the dreams, aspirations of his coalition partners. It's a matter of shame. It's a matter of shame for that man, Justin Trudeau, to do what he is doing. So he has chosen, he has played the card. He prefers Niger over India. That's the important part. It is clear, and I repeat, Canadian government of today prefers Niger to India, and he must bear the consequences of that. And that is the message that government of India must convey. That is the message that the people of Indian origin convey in Canada, barring those who are, anti-Modi because he's strong and he's not letting the Congress people come to power. So those bootlickers aside, I think every aware Indian in Canada and in America must stand up to protect and defend what is critical for us. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and support our channel. Give your feedback. Thank you. Satyamev Jayate. Truth must triumph, and it must.